Hello, everyone, and welcome. In the fast-paced world of hospitality, if you're standing still, you're actually falling behind. My job is all about using data to drive hotel operations. And today, we're going to dive into one of the most critical skills for modern performance, forecasting. This is a cornerstone of the curriculum here at Europe Hotel School. And honestly, it's absolutely essential for anyone who wants to lead in this incredible industry. So here's our roadmap for today. First, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the real cracks in traditional budgeting. Then I'll introduce you to rolling forecasts. This is the modern answer to all that market chaos. We'll explore how this approach gives you a massive advantage in agility, how it sharpens your strategic vision, and then we'll wrap up with what I think is the most important piece of the puzzle, the culture of trust that makes it all click. All right, let's get right to the heart of the problem. For decades, hotels have run on these rigid annual budgets. But let's be honest, in today's market, that static approach isn't a plan, it's a liability. I want you to really let that question sink in. Are the financial plans you're working with built to win in the market as it is right now, or are they just a snapshot of a market that, frankly, doesn't exist anymore? In an industry where a new flight route or one bad storm can change everything overnight, are we really trying to steer the ship while staring into the rearview mirror? And this right here really visualizes that huge disconnect we're talking about. On one side, you've got the annual budget. It's rigid, it's set in stone, and often it's totally outdated just weeks after it's signed off. And on the other side, well, that's the reality of our business. It's dynamic, it's volatile, it's always changing. It's a fundamental mismatch that completely ties our hands when we need to make smart decisions. Okay, so if the old model is broken, what's the fix? Well, this brings us to the hero of our story, the rolling forecast. This is the modern solution that's actually designed for the world we live in. At its core, a rolling forecast is a pretty simple but really powerful idea. Instead of getting locked into a fixed 12-month calendar, you're always looking ahead a set amount of time, say 12 or maybe 18 months. So as each month ends, you drop it from the past and you add a brand new one to the future. Your forecast is no longer some static document collecting dust. It becomes a living, breathing plan. So this process becomes a constant cycle of learning and adapting. It's a loop. You start by looking at your actual numbers, what really happened versus what you thought would happen. Based on that reality, you update your assumptions. Maybe that huge corporate client didn't rebook, but hey, a new airline just announced a direct flight from a key market. So you reforecast to reflect that new reality. And then you add another period to the end, always keeping that crucial forward-looking view. And this brings us to the single biggest win of this entire approach, agility. We are talking about the ability to pivot and respond to what the market is doing, not next quarter, but right now. In hospitality, being responsive is everything. Think about it. Sudden economic shifts, unexpected travel problems, or even a new competitor popping up down the street. The ability to quickly adjust your operational and financial plans isn't just a nice-to-have, it is an absolute necessity for survival and ultimately for success. This quote highlights a really crucial shift in mindset, and it's a key principle we teach right here at Europe Hotel School London. It's about moving away from being obsessed with hitting some rigid, arbitrary target you set last year. Instead, your focus shifts to creating informed, intelligent expectations that are grounded in what's happening today. It's about being smart and responsive, not just being right about a guess you made 10 months ago. So, beyond just reacting faster, this whole approach fundamentally sharpens your financial vision. It actually helps create better accuracy and gets your entire team strategically aligned and moving in the same direction. And the difference in accuracy is just dramatic. Why? Because rolling forecasts are built on this idea of continuous learning. You're constantly refining your model with real data every single cycle. And as you keep tuning your assumptions, your plans just get more and more reliable and realistic over time. All that improved accuracy, well, that translates directly into real strategic power. When you can see clearly past the end of the current year, you can start to really assess the long-term impact of the decisions you're making today. It lets you break free from that reactive, short-term thinking and build truly thoughtful strategies around things like capital investments, staffing levels, and your marketing plans. But let's be crystal clear on this. A tool, no matter how good, is completely useless without the right culture to support it. This isn't just about spreadsheets and numbers. It's about people. We have to talk about the human foundation that makes all of this actually work. For this to take root, leadership has to drive a pretty big shift in mindset. We have to stop treating a forecast like it's a rigid commitment, like it's a promise set in stone that managers get punished for missing. We have to embrace it for what it truly is, our best, most informed estimate based on an ever-changing market. This simple statement right here, it holds the entire concept together. At the end of the day, culture really is the key. It requires a fundamental change in how we talk to each other, how we collaborate, and even how we define what success looks like. And as we always emphasize here at Europe Hotel School London, this culture is really built on two main pillars. First, transparency. Everyone has to be open with the data and with the why behind their forecasts. And second, trust. Your department heads have to feel psychologically safe enough to give you realistic updates, even if it's bad news, without any fear of being punished. That is the only way you'll ever get the real data you need to drive the best performance. So I'll leave you with this question to carry with you as you move forward in your careers. Now that you know how to build more agile and responsive plans, is your strategy truly ready for the future of hospitality? The tools are out there. The choice to use them? Well, that's up to you.